I'm pretty much here just to do some trivia and give out some t-shirts. So it's going to be an easy talk. Thank you so much, Phil, wherever he went. I also go by Leah, so if you get tongue twisted with Lelia, which he did a lovely job with, you can call me Leah. I am the executive director of Build Carolina. We are about 6 years old, a nonprofit organization that runs currently 3 programs. You've heard about one extensively today, which is Carolina Code School. We also run a registered apprenticeship program, and we run a program called SC Codes, a statewide program. So I feel like my talk is basically, here's why Stephanie's talk was important. So if you missed her talk, then you'll have to go back and check that one out. So it's really what we call the tech talent ecosystem. It's actually like a lot simpler than what that might sound like, but we can break it down pretty easily by what's an ecosystem. We kind of understand generally that concept. It's this living, breathing thing, and it's part of our life. It's always adapting and changing. And then tech talent. So if you're sitting in this room, you probably work in the tech industry or work in tech in a different industry. So this means you are here. You are part of this ecosystem. Raise your hand if you've never thought about or heard of the phrase tech talent ecosystem, because we kind of made it up. So, all right, when we talk about the tech talent ecosystem, a lot of what our work focuses on is how do people get into this ecosystem? And in our definition, there's kind of 4 main ways that happens. Raise your hand if you knew you were going to be doing this kind of work when you were in K-12. Okay, great. So some of you knew that not only was this an actual career path that you could pursue, but maybe that you wanted to pursue it, which is awesome. All right, who here fits into this second category of traditional post-secondary? A couple of you? By the way, guys, this is a safe space, and you don't need to be embarrassed because we all have our own unique stories. Okay, less traditional. Who falls into this camp? Yay. Y'all, we do have a lot of graduates and current students here from our code school, Carolina Code School. Will y'all raise your hands so people know who you are? Don't be embarrassed. Yay. We also have some apprentices here. I don't know if they're in the room. I don't see. Apprentices, any apprentices here? A couple of apprentices from our registered apprenticeship program are here too. So they're in this camp. And then there's a 4th camp, kind of, I don't know, professional development. There's like 65 words that kind of mean the same thing here. But folks who kind of maybe through their work, maybe they were working adjacent to the tech team and they decided they wanted to learn some skills and go over to that team. That's happened some too. Anybody in this room fit in that camp? All right, cool. So guys, it's trivia time. And the prize, if you are to answer some questions, I have a few vintage, very rare, discontinued shirts. And they're all different sizes, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put the magic bag at the front, and if I tell you you can come up and get a shirt, you can come choose which one you want, okay? Deal? So trivia time. This is a little hard while holding the mic, so I'm gonna do my best. All right, I know a lot of you are data nerds, so for you, the data source we have today is from IPEDS, the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System from NCES, the National Center for Educational Statistics. We good? Number 1, everybody has to vote on this, okay? So get ready. Between Clemson and USC, which one, Sean, you're not allowed to answer this. Which one had more bachelor's degree recipients in, quote, computer and information sciences in 2021, which is the latest data we have, so in 2021. If you're an extreme data nerd, this is CIP code number 11. So raise your hand if you think bachelor's degree recipients in computer and information sciences, if Clemson had more, raise your hand. I do realize we're a little biased in this building. All right, raise your hand if You think USC had more? Okay, pretty good representation. All right, nobody gets a shirt for this one. The answer is USC beats Clemson. And here is why. Well, that is gonna be a question, hold on. USC in 2021 graduated 259 people in this category, bachelor's degrees. Clemson, 171. Okay, so real question for a t-shirt. Who can tell me why that is and why that's different based on the reputation of these schools? Yes?
My initial guess is that USC is like a third of the cost.
A third of the cost. That's a great guess. You're wrong. Phil.
Satellite campuses.
Satellite campuses. Another great guess. Also wrong. Barry.
Clemson's program is much harder.
Clemson is much harder. They're not listening in today, Barry, I don't think, but good try. Okay, I'm still waiting on the right answer though, because I don't have enough shirts for every guesser. You. Harder to get in. So also wrong. Think about this in terms of the data nerdery. Yes.
Is engineering included in that?
Oh, okay. At least you get a shirt because you're the closest one. So come on up and get a shirt. Closest one, because here's the reason. IT is included in computer and information sciences. 72 of those USC degrees were in IT. Clemson does not offer that. Or at least they don't categorize it the same way. So this is actually just a data nerd answer because of what is and is not included in that data. Data's hard, right? So I have a lot more nerd numbers where this stuff comes from if anyone has questions. All right, okay, this is for a t-shirt, ready? How many total bachelor's degrees were awarded across every institution in the state of South Carolina in 2021? Again, this is the computer and information sciences across the board. Any guesses as to the number of bachelor's degrees in the whole state in 2021? Christina. 1,423. Great guess. You can get a shirt for guessing.
1424.
Okay, really funny story. I did do this as an over-under with the team, which was pretty funny. Christina would have won that round. This is tough because it does depend on which data source you go to. So in this particular question, I went to a second data source to compare. Okay, so that was the South Carolina Commission on Higher Ed. They think there were more than the national data says. So they think there were they think there were 881. My original source, which I can't even remember anymore the acronym, but said 732. So that's less than what we thought. It's about half of what we thought. And that includes, right, IT, that includes, there's like 12 degree titles that are included in that, so it's not just computer science. I do have the data on computer science. So same question, but really specifically for computer science, like that particular term. Raise your hand if you're in this room and you have a degree in computer science. So like a lot of you, right? In the year 2021, across every institution in the entire state, how many people got a degree in computer science? Yes, gray shirt, yes.
500.
Please get a shirt and feel defeated, because the number is 77. 77. Yay! One of the 77 is here. Congratulations, it was apparently a really hard one to get. All right. Of all the degrees that were awarded that I just talked about, so computer and information sciences, again, 2021, because this is the newest data we have. How many or what percentage were awarded to Black or African American women? Now I feel like a game show host. Hold on, he raised his hand. 1%. Okay, I get to make you feel better about that one, but you can get a shirt. It was 5%. 5%. Black and African American women make up 5% of bachelor's degree recipients in computer and information sciences in South Carolina. Black or African American men? Anyone want to guess? I'm running out of shirts, but you can still guess. Yes. What did you say? Hold on. 8%. I get to make you feel better. It's 11%. Only a little better, because that's not great. Okay. This is, okay, 2 questions to go. Ready? In Greenville alone, how many job openings are there in software today? Okay. Wait, raise your hand if you have an actual answer. Yes? 42 is the answer. In Greenville alone, okay, you can get a shirt. There's 1 or 2 more. Welcome, come get a shirt. In Greenville alone, for anything related to software, 378 today. Okay? Now that's like all kinds of software, so that can mean a few different things, right? If you're really digging into those job titles, what does that look like? But what about software developers? Who wants to take the last guess across the state of South Carolina of job openings as of, this is technically as of yesterday, I'm sorry I didn't re-look at it this morning, but South Carolina job openings for software developers yesterday. Yes. 173. The answer is 399. 399. Now y'all, this is data, which means it's like wrong a lot, right? But again, as I mentioned earlier, my talk is really only to help open our eyes to why talks like Stephanie's were so important, right? We have huge gaps in our ecosystem. And this is the end of my talk, is we need you, right? So how do we fix that problem? We can't fix it with just one code school, right? Carolina Code School is the only code school in our city and only one of 2 in our whole state. There's only one other one, it's in Charleston, we're friends with them, but we can't fix it just with that. And that shouldn't fix it, right? We have a whole host of gaps that we need help filling. Our organization, our whole mission is to help fill those gaps. And that's all we're doing. So this is a little QR code. I find it funny that these like used to be cool and then they weren't cool and now they're like cool again. So anyway, this just goes to a form if anyone is interested in volunteering with us. And I will just say, if you don't live in South Carolina, then feel free to still fill that out. It will help connect you with folks in your local community that you can help with. So that's the state of our tech talent ecosystem. And I think I'm out of time.